North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has just pledged to establish a new era of 100 years of friendship between Russia and North Korea. Kim Jong-un travelled in a private armoured train to the far east of Russia for meetings, negotiations and a state dinner with Putin. And this was Kim Jong-un's first foreign trip in 4 years. Now, as you can see, North Korea and Russia are neighbours. They're actually divided by a very short border. Here it runs for around 11 miles along the lower Tumen River, and it's one of the most heavily guarded places in the world. That's because it also contains this tri-point, which is where China, Russia and North Korea meet. A few hundred meters downstream from there is the only crossing point between the Russian and North Korean territories, and that is the so-called Friendship Bridge. There's also a maritime border here in the Sea of Japan separating the two nations. Now, you probably know that after Japan was defeated in the Second World War, Korea, which had been a colonial territory of Japan, was ultimately divided along the 38th parallel, which is another way of saying 38 degrees latitude. The North was backed by the then Soviet Union, economically and militarily, and the South by the US. So Kim Jong-un's grandfather, Kim Il-sung, was installed as a dictator by the then Soviet Union. And after that, relations oscillated but ultimately deteriorated with the dissolution of the USSR. But then Putin's rise to power in 1999 initiated a reset of relations. And in 2012, Russia agreed to write off around 90% of North Korea's historic debt to them as they engaged more closely. Although Russia did continue to condemn North Korea for missile and nuclear tests. But this consolidating of alliances that we're seeing now has been triggered by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. North Korea was one of 5 countries only to vote against a UN resolution condemning the invasion. And in 2022, North Korea recognized the 2 Russian-backed breakaway territories in eastern Ukraine. And now, 18 months into Russia's invasion, Russia needs fresh supplies of ammunition, and North Korea's shrinking economy would benefit from any more economic cooperation, as well as Russian expertise to bolster their military and potentially nuclear capability.